The vampire opened the incubation chamber and removed a newly formed embryo. After years of research, they had eliminated genetic weaknesses, creating a new type of vampire, the Harvester, immune to silver and even unafraid of sunlight. However, the first batch of experimental subjects had a fatal flaw. One day, a man entered the underground blood bank. The vampires exploited humanity's greed to extract ample sustenance from them. Just as they were about to attack the man before them, the bald man suddenly laughed. It turned out he was a reaper who craved blood so intensely that he would even feed on vampires. In an instant, the entire blood bank was devoured. To deal with such a monster, they had to call in Brad. Since the last battle with the vampires, Brad's strength had increased significantly. By chance, he learned that his former assistant had not died, but had been captured by a group of vampires and placed in a storage tank to be preserved as their reserve food. Blade defeated all the vampires and rescued his assistant. After being injected with antiviral medication, he regained his human form. However, by this point, Blade already had a new assistant named Jack. Before they could catch up, two fully armed vampires suddenly burst into the warehouse where they were hiding. The assistant hadn't fully recovered yet and was knocked to the ground in the first exchange. Fortunately, Blade arrived in time upon hearing the commotion. Facing these oddly dressed creatures, Blade didn't even bother drawing his sword, easily overpowering one vampire until his accomplice came to assist. Only then did Blade take the fight seriously. After completing the first set of his ancestral sword techniques, the two vampires were already defeated. At that moment, the opponents suddenly surrendered, as they hadn't come to cause trouble. The appearance of the Reapers had caused significant distress to the vampires, whose metabolism was extremely fast, requiring them to consume more blood. Additionally, vampires bitten by Reapers would also transform into the same monsters. To deal with these creatures, one would need a professional like Brad.